If you had free power for years, how would you turn it into cash? 1. Become an electric provider. 2. Price gouge. I'd break the laws of thermodynamics for fun and space exploration. Crypto mining, I suppose. Not enough information. How much power? 100 megawatts power station or a residential house. Like, unlimited free power connected directly to a 100 megawatts power plant, or $200 more worth of residential power? New Year's Eve alone. What are people doing that are alone? Drinking and gaming. In my country there's a weekly TV show where you play bingo. You buy bingo cards and sit at home and play while the hosts give out the New Year's. They have a New Year's special with lots and lots of prizes. I'm hoping to win myself a car or a pile of money. Watching bad reality TV and stuffing my face with chocolate. Happy New Year. Currently in the local pub for a few beers. Then home for a joint, ordering a takeaway treat, relaxing bath, then seeing what's worth playing on Xbox. Standard self-care. Happy New Year. Studying for the CFP exam with my dog. Worst thing is being with your loved ones feeling alone. That feeling is way worse in my opinion. Watching a movie, browsing Reddit, having a beer or 3. Going to bed early, hopefully. People over 40, what's one thing you regret the most in your younger years? Not enjoying it more. Didn't realize how fast my younger years would pass. Not investing and not appreciating people who love you. Caring too much about what others thought of me. Deferring too readily to the judgment of others. I had the naive belief that other people had my best interest at heart. Speak up for yourself. Defend your own decisions. No one is out there waiting to make you a star. Speaking too quick, not listening and thinking more. Stretching and maintaining muscle mass. When I had kids I stopped both and it took a decade to get that back. Treat your body well. Something happens around 38 and the better shape you are in the better your 40s and after will feel. Spending too much time worrying about love and not enough time concentrating on happiness. Not setting firm boundaries with people. Givers have to set limits because takers have no limits. What are some common foods that make you wonder, who was the first weirdo to try eating that? It's always been mushrooms, for me. The process of elimination needed to find safely edible ones. Like this one killed someone. This one peeled back the layers of reality for 8 hours, this one is okay, this one made me shit my insides out for 3 days, etc. There's a Chinese idiom that translates to the first person to eat crab, meaning a very brave person. So I like to think about the person who saw a skittering water spider looking thing and went, that looks great, I'm gonna eat it. It's a good thing they figured it out. 2. Butter. Hey, I'm gonna take this milk, and churn the ever-loving shit out of it until something happens. Coffee. Who was like, okay, this is gross as is, but if I roast it and put it in hot water it's actually kinda good. What are the professions that most people think is hard but actually isn't? A lot of office jobs are hard to get, but easy to do. Sanitation garbage man is not the dirty, backbreaking job that it used to be. With very few usually seasonal exceptions. You'd also be surprised at the pay. Many times IT support is incredibly chill. There were days I did nothing but play around on my phone because I didn't have any tickets. I say many times because some companies will assign you a bunch of busy work to keep you occupied. What do poor countries do better than rich countries? Mend, reuse and repair things. Street food. Amazing parties on very low budgets. All they need is a decent speaker, cheap alcohol and big pot of whatever they can whip up with a little bit of money. They are more entrepreneurial. People like me do the safe path of university and blah blah blah. Immigrants are much more likely to start a business. Usually a micro business. Or they have city hustles where they trade phones or something like that. Family and personal connections. Prioritize need over comfort. Community. Recycling. Poor people will use the chair for 50 years. And will find 20 uses for an empty plastic bottle. Enjoy the little things. Having more babies. What is the funniest joke you've been told that you still think about to this day? One of my go-tos I actually found on Here Wallace Brown, and rhymes with Dre. A piece of string walks into a bar and orders a drink. The bartender tell him, sorry, we don't serve strings here. Get out. The string walks out and unravels one end of himself and ties himself up a few times and walks back in and orders a drink. The bartender says, aren't you the string that was just in here? The string replies, no, I'm afraid not. Heard this joke probably 23 years ago. Still love it and tell it to people. My friend got me an elephant for my room. I said thanks and she said, don't mention it. What is the most tragic announcement that was made at your high school? Death of a student who'd graduated the year prior. Guy went into the Marines, got sick during boot camp and they didn't let him go to the hospital until it was 2 funeral procession drove by the school and anyone that wanted to go out to see was free to do. A fire truck with the ladder extended holding up a banner was one of the nicest guys you'd ever know. Not me, but my little sister's school got shut down by police last year. BC, an 11-year-old girl took her own life in the bathroom. Absolutely tragic. I was upset and I don't even go there. 23-year-old new music teacher we all loved had to take her cat to the vet one day, so she had to take the day off. Somehow the cat got out of her crate, or possibly wasn't crated at all, and made our teacher crash the car and die. It was really tragic and a very small town, so we felt it hard. What should millennials kill off next? Purchasing subscriptions for all sorts of services. Fast fashion. We're picking up all the grandparent hobbies anyways due to it costing $100 to step outside. Might as well learn a few sewing skills and get some well-made, durable clothes that we can make modifications or repairs to ourselves. People who don't know how old millennials are. We're not kids, we're approaching middle age. Tipping culture. For-profit healthcare. Ticketmaster. Lobbyists. Ooh, fun. Let's kill off remakes of movies. Tipping and tipping culture. Have at. The world would a better place. Dicks. Student loans. How about divisive politics in general and stop paying Congress critters when they can't pass basic funding bills? Tipping. What's a fact that sounds like a conspiracy theory? Ernest Hemingway suffered from ongoing paranoia that the FBI were surveilling him, which was thought to be a key factor in his suicide. Most chalked it up to mental illness at the time. Decades later, his file was released, proving he was under investigation for his ties to Cuba. His phones were tapped, and he was right all along. The CIA was a major player in enabling a violent coup and genocide in 1965-1966 in Indonesia, overthrowing Sukarno, who flirted quite a bit with the Soviets, only to be replaced by the Western aligning but extremely corrupt one. The car lobby is responsible for the destruction of transit and downtowns in America in the middle of last century. What's an outdated technology you will never stop using? Notebook and pen to take notes. Real buttons. For heaven's sake, not everything has to be touchscreen compatible. My analog watch with the hour, minute, and second hands. Physical media. Fan. Toilet paper. Those three seashells just don't work for me. Pocket knives. Automatic movement wristwatches. Fountain pens. Paper maps, atlases. It will be a cold day in hell before I get a fridge or a dishwasher with a computer built inside of it. For me, manual broom sweepers come to vacuums just don't interest me. I love advanced tech when it makes sense, but for me this feels like a case of overkill. Not everything needs to be smart automatic. I'm a big believer the future should be one of mixed-use tech. What's something people do that screams I'm looking for attention? Talking vaguely on social media about hating drama all the time. Usually, these people are the very ones creating the drama in their own lives. Vague social posts like, well, here I am in the ER again without any other info. Post something super vague on social media. Everything is so hard sometimes and then people leave you. X200B. Why do bad things never stop? X200B. Leave me alone. I need time to heal from the fakers. My cat yelling at me to pet him. Filming themselves crying on Instagram or somewhere. What's something you have that the richest man in the world doesn't? A vagina. Bad credit. A rich man will never know the happiness of finally making that last car payment. Anonymity. Enough. The richest man in the world is Mohammed bin Salman. He pretty much owns the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and controls all the wealth of the House of Saud, estimated at $1.4 trillion. I am not constantly under threat of being murdered by my cousins for power. Unlike him. The best dog. Pretty sure I have bigger boobs. The ability to go to stores with people not knowing me or hoping for a handout. My kitty cat whom I love and adore and is the most adorable little man that I've loved for 15 years and intend to keep loving for what few years he has left. A realistic understanding of the common person. Crippling debt. Enough. Someone who actually loves me, regardless of what I offer in return. A wife that truly loves me and I love her. Which cancelled celebrity were you previously a fan of? Kevin Spacey. This one goes way past cancelled, but I was a big fan of Lost Prophets. Now I just feel shitty when one of their songs pops in my head. Don't know if this counts exactly, but Chris Benoit. Dude was one of my childhood heroes. That was an intense couple of days. Cosby, for his stand-up comedy rather than shows he's done. Joss Whedon. Still love his shows, and at the very least, he was just an asshole. But he was an asshole. James Franco. Mostly for his approach to art and education. But goddamn, the man was extended a lifeline so many times and sank his own ship.